The PlayStation 5, or PS5, launched on November 12, 2020 in select markets and November 19th worldwide. This system has one key ability that it shares with its older siblings all the way down to the PS2. You can expand the storage on this system for up to 8 terabytes of storage space. That's big, real big. You see that open green slot right there at the top? I'm going to walk you through some tips to get you from empty to busy so you can download games and DLC without having to uninstall. If you're like me, you probably bought the PS5 digital with a trade-in of your PS4 and games. You're also excited to know that instead of a regular SATA slot to expand the system storage, there's an M.2 slot. You know this will make accessing your games a lot faster. Okay, you can't just throw any old PC drive in it and call it a day. The PS5 needs that Gen 4 PCIe speed or M.2 speed. You're going to see error messages or worse lag spikes mid-game if you go with anything less. I went with the Fangxian's 880 NVMe SSD 4 terabytes with read speeds of up to 7,400 megabytes per second. So it's plenty fast. I got mine on Amazon where I get most of my parts.
Whoa!
First thing we have to do is fully turn off the PS5, so do that. Not put it in standby mode, not put it to sleep, but fully turn off the PS5. I get it. Opening anything electronic can be nerve-wracking, especially a console. But if you've ever built IKEA furniture, you got this. My first time, it took about 15 minutes, and most of it was me ensuring that I wasn't going to break anything because I couldn't figure out which way I was supposed to slide the cover off. Spoiler alert, I didn't break it. You see in the video, unplugging the HDMI cord and the power cable after the system's been shut down, and flipping it over upside down so that you can actually see the slot. You can see it right there. That's the opening of where the M.2 slot is on the PS5. So it'll sit kind of sort of like that. You are going to need a heatsink. This is the Enio PS5 heatsink. I got this on Amazon as well. Now that we got our parts situated, you want to get the system in the right position so that you can take the covers off effectively. You want to have the buttons facing towards you, and that will make the system upside down and make it easier for you to access the M.2 slot. You're going to lift up on the upper left corner and slide the whole cover to the right, exposing the internals. You see the fan and the M.2 slot there. You'll have a silver cover if you still have a brand new system that's never been upgraded, and this is the screw that'll hold that silver cover on. There's also going to be a ring to balance out and level out the SSD so that it's not sagging once it's installed in the system, and it'll be a very small ring like this, along with a screw. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't remember whether or not the screw and the ring came with the solid state drive or if it came with the heatsink, but either way, you're going to need that. Also, with that heatsink, you're going to need thermal pads. They usually come when it comes with the heatsink, and you want to put them on prior to trying to install it onto the SSD. Now, I'm taking my fan. I have a little blower here, trying to blow out a little bit of dust that I can actually see on the fan, but you normally want to take off the whole fan cover in order to get there and do a thorough cleaning and get all the dust out of the vents. Because where my PS5 sits, it's really cool, so it's not sucking in a lot of dust, but it sucks in enough, and it still gets a little dusty. So you want to take those 4 screws off, pull out the fan, give it a thorough cleaning before you put it back in, and this will help give you a PS5 a longer life. You want to put the solid state in the slot at an angle. Make sure it's raised up before you really screw it down. The ring goes under that hole. It's 4 holes there. This is the 2280 spot that ring will go into. And the skinnier screw that you get, stick it in that hole, and that's what holds down the PS5 hard drive. It keeps it in place. Once you're finished screwing it, you're gonna grab your heatsink. Showing right now the screwdriver, how old it is, but it's still reliable. It's using a micro USB charger. Grab your heatsink and make sure the thermal pad is on there so that it conducts the heat properly and doesn't mess up your newly minted hard drive. Like I said, this is the INEO PS5 heatsink, and the same screw that you used to take off the silver cover, you will put on that heatsink, and it still covers up the PS5 slot completely. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little orientation, there's a notch that you want to make sure that you see and put in the drive properly. If it's not in there properly, you're not going to be able to do anything with that. Once you get the screws in place, everything should work out fine and get you ready for the next position. Get everything screwed in properly, get your cover, pop it back on in place, and you're ready to move on to reconnecting it to your television and getting it set up. If you made it this far, leave me a comment to let me know what game you're going to load up first. Here's the part that people skip and it messes them up every single time. You must let the PS5 format the new drive the first time it boots. With your system ready to boot up, power it on and let it go through its boot sequence, rebuilding the databases and everything. And with great power comes great responsibility. Now don't do what I did and move your entire library at the same time. Give the drive a chance to get acclimated to the PS5. It'll rebuild its database in under about a minute, and you'll see everything is ready to go once your home screen loads up. When you turn your PlayStation on after installing your new hard drive or your new solid state, this is what you get. You go over to settings. In settings, go down to your storage. And you just see you have, if you're like me, you have three separate storage options. The console storage, usually I use that to load up the smaller games that PlayStation drops, like the independent games or the indie games. Most of the apps go on the console storage because they're easy and out of the way. Yes, I put Hulu and Disney Plus on my PlayStation because you never know when you need to just jump out and jump into, Captain America, Brave New World. But these are the smaller games. Dredge, 816 megs. This is the data for Last of Us. I need to move that. But I don't have much on my console storage because of the M.2 that I installed. Everything else is usually on here. Out of the 4 terabytes, I have about 2 terabytes left. So you go down to the size. Call of Duty is your biggest game. Then Destiny, then Jedi Survivor, Gran Turismo, Grand Theft Auto. These games are played regularly in a regular rotation on my drive. So these are the games that I usually jump in, play, and the data saves directly onto it, so I don't have any problems accessing it. You go down to the extended storage. Now the extended storage is any hard drive that you have that's portable, external hard drive. Now what I did was took the hard drive out of my PS4 and put it in the regular hard drive. I changed it to a solid state because I had a PS4 Pro, changed that to a solid state, and went ahead and when I was selling it, took it out, put just a regular 500 gig or 1 terabyte drive in it to sell it, and yeah, that 2 terabyte became the extended storage for the PlayStation, and I could do that in another video as well. But the storage location for your games, for my PS5 games, when you change the option, console storage, you know you're going to run out of space soon, but M.2 storage, you're going to be there for a while. PS4 games, I play right off of the USB. There's no reason for me to put them on a console storage and taking up space for games that actually need it. And, you know, that's how you make sure that your system is ready to play. So when you're ready to jump into Call of Duty, it doesn't take long to load up at all. That's the full checklist. If you've ever thought about upgrading, take this as your sign. You can do it. Don't let that slot stay empty. Now let's talk about what to do with your old tech. You know, the stuff that's been collecting dust. That's where we're headed to next.